I think that this is a brilliant campaign by the Australian Conservation Foundation. What they've done is, I think they've used AI, but they're definitely using motion graphics to depict a koala and other wildlife in plastic shrink wrap bags on Australian supermarket shelves. Now, they're trying to campaign for these supermarkets to reduce the amount of deforestation that's happening, which is leaving these animals without habitat. Now let's actually just look at the still image of that. There's a few different versions. We've got the koala, a different little bird over there, and a black cockatoo. And for anyone that's not in Australia, this image here is very recognizable for the Australian consumers. This is the sign that we see in the supermarket called Coles whenever they're reducing a product to clear. And you can see here that some of these products are sold for cents. We've got some Coles fruit mince pies here just selling for 1 cent because they've obviously, need to clear the stock. So this is a really clever depiction of utilizing already something that's cognitively recognizable for the Australian public, as well as something very striking where we have this koala or other native animals wrapped in shrink wrap and placed on the supermarket shelves. Now, I love coming across campaigns like this and leveraging the power of AI to actually help us analyze and understand why these campaigns are so effective. It's going to be interesting to see because I don't know how much information ChatGPT knows about Coles and actually that visual representation of reduced to clear. But in any case, what I've done is I've uploaded a couple of those photos, the koala and the black cockatoo, and I've just said, please analyze the following campaign and explain what makes it effective from a psychological and behavioral science perspective. So I'm just going to click enter and let this run in the background. And the model we're using is ChatGPT 4.0. There's a new model out, 4.01, which has better reasoning, but it doesn't actually have vision capability, the ability to understand the visual elements. So unfortunately, can't use that model yet, but I think it'd be a really interesting use case. So let's have a look at what we've got here. We've got firstly the emotional appeal. The animal in distress, the image of the koala and the bird encased in a plastic packaging with a reduced to clear label suggests that these animals are being commodified or disregarded. The visual metaphor triggers an emotional response related to animal welfare, extinction, and environmental degradation. We've got connection to familiar products. By placing the animal on a supermarket shelf, so it does recognize that, packaged like common products, the campaign draws attention to the desensitization of consumers to the environmental impact of their purchasing decisions. We've also got bulldozing the bush, the use of the phraseology. We're getting into some other concepts here. We've got cognitive dissonance. The campaign creates a cognitive dissonance by contrasting a familiar environment, the supermarkets, with an unsettling image, endangered animals as products. This dissonance prompts viewers to reconcile their shopping habits with the values, making them more likely to change their behavior. We've got moral engagement and social proof. We've got a few other things here. We've got scarcity and urgency. The message reduced to clear also taps into the scarcity principle. That's really interesting. That's obviously what the supermarkets leverage as a principle in terms of clearing off these products. We've got visual metaphor and simplicity, framing and loss aversion, relatability and context. So don't think it picked up that this was from the Coles supermarket in Australia, but I think it did a really interesting job. And what I love from this now is you can actually leverage this as a framework for future campaigns. So we can actually take this and say, leverage these principles and help us ideate future advocacy campaigns for a different type of topic. So it's a nice way to reverse engineer campaigns that you see online that are incredibly effective, that strike at you, but you simply can't, maybe put into the words what makes it effective, what are the underlying principles behind it. Leveraging a tool like AI can actually really help with that. So I hope this has given you some ideas about how you can increase your campaign effectiveness, leveraging the power of GPT and vision in particular here. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.